At this point, our subscription form submits the user's name and email, but the user has no idea whether their information was accepted or whether there was an error. We want to let the user know what happened after they submitted the form. That's why AMP form provides submit success and submit error attributes. These can be placed on elements that are direct children of the form element. These elements only get displayed after a form submission succeeds or fails. The contents of these elements get treated differently by AMP compared to what we've seen so far. That's because these elements contain templates.
Templates convert dynamic data into HTML that gets inserted into a web page. The most common type of template in AMP is AMP Mustache. It's based on the mustache.js syntax. In their simplest form, mustache templates are like fill-in-the-blank sentences. Consider this simple template. There are many adjective ways to pick your noun. If we pass uplifting and friends, the sentence reads, there are many uplifting ways to pick your friends. Mustache templates describe HTML content in which sections are missing. Those missing sections get filled in with content from a server. The templates are written in HTML, and the missing sections are identified by the double curly braces you see here. When the data arrives from the server, AMP parses the template. It then replaces mustache variables with the data from the server, generating HTML that gets inserted into your page.
Here's a real template example. At the top, you see the data received from the server. Name is set to Bob, and job is set to builder. In the middle, you see the mustache template with the placeholders for name and job, both in double curly braces. At the bottom, you see the generated HTML. Bob is an excellent builder. The placeholders have been replaced with live data.
Mustache variables can replace more than just text. You can use mustache variables within HTML attributes as well. Check out this example. At the top, we have the data, which includes not just text, but also a URL and width and height values. At the bottom is the template, which inserts that data into HTML attributes.
And this is the HTML that gets generated. The source, width, and height attributes come right from our template.
Mustache templates can be much more elaborate. You can iterate over a collection of values to display lists or tables of data. You can show content only if a particular variable is defined, or only if it's not defined. You can even display unescaped HTML content. There's more than we can cover here, so to learn more, just read the AMP Mustache documentation.
Now we know how to add those confirmation and error messages to our subscription form.
In this exercise, we're going to get practice adding success and failure messages to our form and try out the AMP Mustache templates.
Use the AMP Mustache and Success Error Response Rendering documentation to add success and error messages to our subscription form. The success message should thank the user by name for subscribing. The error message should indicate to the user that there was an error submitting their response. To do this exercise, we'll require the AMP Mustache JavaScript. A sample server data for this exercise is shown on your screen. Our templates don't need to contain any mustache variables.
Let's start the exercise. Below your Submit button, add a div tag with attribute submit-success. Add a template with type AMP Mustache. It should render a p tag with class form-submit-response. The message should include the name from the server. Now add a div tag with attribute submit-error. Add a template with type AMP-mustache. It should render a p tag with class form-submit-response. The message doesn't need the name. Now, pause the video and try this out.
And here's how your solution should look. Notice the new Submit Success div, which contains the template for the success message, and the new Submit Error div with the template we'll use on failure.
And as usual, don't forget to add the script for AMP Mustache in the head tag.